Well, it's been 2 years and 3 months since I moved in, and a lot of things have changed. I've been able to do a lot of my projects. I bought the place originally for $69,900, so let's say $70,000, and I've been able to do quite a bit around the area. I've put about $17,000 into the place, so it's been, quite a bit of money, at least for me. And I'm in debt, but not as much as I had predicted. So my biggest debt, obviously, is the mortgage, but that's just kind of unavoidable. I don't usually get political on my channel because this is mainly about the place and trying to understand how maybe to better improve it with other people's opinions. When people are able to view things, they might give me some tips and so on. And I do appreciate all those tips. I think the housing crisis has got a lot of Americans in a kind of a bad mood, where we think that somehow being able to do something about the situation is beyond our capabilities or even possibilities. I think that we have to kind of maybe take a step back and understand that sure, there are, a lot of people who are unable to pay their mortgage and to do the things they like to do, and that the prices of houses or the value of houses have dropped considerably. But maybe we need to look at the other side of the coin. If 8% of the population that owns houses are not able to pay their mortgage, that means that 93% are able to do that. Now, as I understand, there's going to be a package coming out that's supposed to help Americans who have trouble paying their mortgage. I don't have a problem with that. The only thing I might, put into this argument is that you're dealing maybe with a lot of people who weren't really responsible enough in the first place. Now, if you lose your job, or if you have bad luck, something happens, maybe you have a divorce and so on, well, that's difficult, that's understandable. But to get into a situation where maybe you decide for yourself to buy a house, and you do so, no one twisted your arm, you decide on your own or with your loved ones or whatever to do this, and you did so. I don't really understand why the government needs to come in and to bail people out of this situation. And the problem is that I don't really have a problem with the federal government saying, okay, here's what we can do. We can maybe make it easier for homeowners to stay in their homes, and we're going to give them some help. But to say and this is so quintessentially bureaucratic, to say, okay, let's take those people who have maybe 31% of their income is for the mortgage, or above, then we're going to give them a break. And I don't really see how that's fair. Some might say, well, we're all in this together, we have to help people out. Well, okay, if we're all in this together, point taken, then why don't we help everybody out? Why don't we just go across the board? Rather than saying 31%, why don't we just say it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor? See, that's the problem I have with these kinds of initiatives, is that guys like me are kind of in the middle. I'm not poor enough, and I'm not rich enough. So therefore, I don't really qualify, and I don't really see why we have to have these kinds of criteria. We have to say, okay, if your mortgage payment is 31% of your income or higher, and how are you going to determine that? Another form for the IRS? It just seems to me a little bit baffling. Why not just say, you own a home, then we're going to allow you this amount of write-off. I wouldn't have a problem doing it for renters. It's not fair for them. I lived in an apartment for many, many years, obviously, before I got into a place. Why are we just giving it to homeowners? How about giving renters also a break? It doesn't seem to make sense to me.